Cultural diversity, using technology to connect and collaborate with students. The supporting strategies that I will use is online sources by becoming informed of others, interactive video chats when we're learning from others, differentiated lessons, talking about classroom culture, and different learning styles, how we learn from other people's point of views. In today's classroom, according to the Harvard education, the following can help connect and build classroom culture: to interview your students, give assignments that allow students to share their experiences, interests, and encourage classroom discussions that let students be the center of attention themselves, attend extracurricular activities of students and have students attend those of others, and then visiting the students' community. So we want to create an inclusive classroom. According to this week's reading in the Learning Styles and Cultural Diversity in the Classroom, it's important to have an inclusive classroom where the school setting reflects that of the home life of the students. So with this, we can do it several different ways. Using Google and online resources has really let us explore different cultures as far as their food, their traditions, and even their way of life at just the click of a button. You can have students research the backgrounds and heritages of the students in your classroom or from other cultures around the world. Bringing cultural diversity to students. If you go to peacegallery.org, there's a website that is set up by the Peace Corps and their missions around the world that actually shows photos that Peace Corps members have taken throughout the years in the different countries that they have been in, which really helps students connect real photos that people have taken and have shared, and it's specific to that country. So this website is a great resource to not only show different countries, but also maybe the countries and cultures of your students in your classroom. I learned about this website when I was in AmeriCorps Vista and through my different experiences in different school districts. Now I use it with my own kindergarten students, and since they can't explore the webs on their own, we use it to make connections when we're talking about different places in the world and about different cultures in our classroom because we have a wide variety of students. Example for this is one of the pictures that comes from that website. It's of Morocco, and this is not something that we would normally see here in the United States, but it's a great way to learn about other places and to actually see it. And there's a description that goes with every single picture on this website. This website really allows for classroom discussion and for collaboration on projects about different countries around the world. It's also a great way to learn about connections and collaborations of the Peace Corps. I use this in my classroom to show the little kids about the world and how they can go into the Peace Corps and they can bring about these connections that we may not have around the world if we didn't have the Peace Corps. We can also do instant video chats, whether it be in our classroom or with people around the world. Technology has allowed for this to happen. So we can set up a room, a classroom across the world, and we can actually let students interact with each other and ask them questions and have a translation going on so that they're really understanding what other cultures are going through. Skype is one of these examples. Skype is being used to share classroom instruction around the world. Many teachers use this in my school district and have been paired with other classrooms to learn about their culture as well as other places learning about ours. Teachers have set times for this classroom Skyping session, and it gives time for students to actually ask those questions, like I've said before. And according to the NEA, this strategy also allows for conversations within their own classrooms about the differences in dynamics throughout cultures. And that's the dynamics of differences. So we are not only learning, but we're also finding out how to make that bridge about cross-cultural communications and to fix any problems that might happen while we're having these interactions. Differentiated instruction is also a great way that brings about a cultural diversity using technology. When collaborating, we may use different types of technology in our classroom, but we have to remember that one size doesn't always fit all. So even if our lesson does not include technology, we have to be flexible. And some students may not always understand this. This is something that can be really hard, especially for my classroom. I have one student that gets to do something one way and the other students have to do it a different way, but that's because I'm differentiating my instruction, and I teach my kids that, you know, this is how this person needs to learn it, and that is actually fair. So the one size doesn't fit all model teaches our students to be conscious of others and to be aware of the personal differences that are going on in the learning community of our classroom. And so bringing about those issues really allows students to understand what each student is going through and building that cultural diversity and understanding how that really works for students. Learning styles is another way that we can bring about cultural diversities, even using technology in our classroom, by addressing different learning styles and having a combination of each during every lesson allows for students to see how other people experience the same information just in a different way. So technology aids is an example of this. By using technology for one student and maybe a different form of technology for another, they're both getting the same information. They just are receiving it in different formats. So while I might have one student type up a paper as a report, another student may give a presentation over it in a PowerPoint format similar to what I'm showing you right now. Just reaching out and letting each student really understand that diversity between each one, but that really we're still understanding the same concepts throughout it. And then these are my references.